Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas. We're so glad you showed up to watch our live show about kind of a year in review. The Gambling Gardeners is like first active year on YouTube. I'm Rana.
And I'm Stan, and Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining us today. Looking forward to kind of going over what we've done this year and our whole journey with our garden and YouTube and just where we're at right now and what next year is looking like. So let's go ahead and start talking about where we were last year. So, first of all, one of our journeys is, why are we doing this and how did we get here and how did we start? And I think I think our first video that we ever did was like back in April of 2024. And the intention wasn't for us to really start a YouTube channel at that time. It was really just me putting up a video of me filling up my beehive for the first time. I bought bees for the first time, had no idea what I was doing. So I thought I would just go ahead and film it and really just send it out to my family and friends and my mom and dad and say, hey, look, this is what I did with these bees and the experience, and just kind of recorded it. And then that was it for a year, basically. And then,
in like May, I think 2025, we decided we were going to kind of get serious about our garden and pretty much start a channel. And so that's when our second video went up, which was also about his bees. It was a honey harvest. And that one was good. And then later we did one giving a garden tour, summer garden tour, but it kind of just took off from there. So kind of the questions would be, first of all, I hear this a lot. How did you come up with the name The Gambling Gardeners? And we watch a lot of those gambling videos on YouTube, the people that gamble at casinos, and we love to garden, and it just kind of all tied into one. But really, gardening's a gamble, because when you put a seed in the ground, you really don't know what you're going to get when it starts to grow, or if it even decides to grow. So we just kind of went with that name. But there are a couple reasons as to why we did get started with the channel, to become more aggressive and post videos and stuff. Oh, and here comes Brian.
So if you hear that noise in the background, it's Brian going in and out.
He's busy.
Yeah, he's doing his job. So well, along the lines of YouTube, we were watching a lot of videos of people gardening on YouTube, and really got kind of inspired. And we were like, you know what, if these people can do that, so can we. So we kind of evolved from the little garden we had back in, I don't know, 2022 or something like that. We live on like a half acre, but we really only have like a little bit more of an area that we can actually use as a garden. So we started with a little in-ground garden. We tilled it up, and we didn't have much success that first year. And then the next year we expanded it, put a little fence around it, and got a dog, and that didn't keep him out. So we went bigger, put another little fence around it, and just kind of expanded from there, and just kind of kept learning. But we had no intention at that time that we were thinking about, okay, we were going to start a YouTube channel. And then this year, or last year, we went ahead and did some raised boxes for the first time, right?
Yeah, like I think we went from 3 raised boxes to 12 or something in 1 year.
Yeah. So it's been quite a evolution, and I don't think when we put the boxes in the ground, we had no idea we were going to do anything with YouTube, right? I mean, it was just for us expanding our garden and just, seeing what we could grow and what we could do, and how, the fruit of just growing some things and being excited about it and being outside. And we really enjoy it. I mean, outside of YouTube, we really had this, just wanted to get outside and do some things and grow. And there was a lot of stuff, I think it really, when you think about it, kind of fed from, the whole COVID thing, where people were starting to like grow their own food. And I think it kind of grew from that. We just kept growing and doing more stuff. And then YouTube came along. And like I said, we thought, well, we could do this, and we could make millions of dollars doing it. Yeah. So
how close are we?
We're real close. We're real close. But so, and the other part of it that's fun is it's kind of like you were talking about, like it's kind of like a journal.
Yeah, definitely. So right now we're getting ready for the 2026 planting season, and we now have like a diary. We can go back and see where we planted things, when we planted things, what we used for, weed control or pest protection and winterization and all kinds of stuff that it's nice to have around. And Stan always has a good point that future generations, like our grandkids, can show their grandkids, hey, here's your grandma and grandpa, or here was my grandma and grandpa, your great grandparents.
Yeah, as long as YouTube's around, these videos will be around, whether you like it or not. So it really is just kind of a journey of your own life if you don't really even make any money at it. I mean, it's a lot of fun to, really, it's like your own TV show. You turn on YouTube and you get to see yourself and talk about what you're doing, and a lot of different things. I mean, we do a lot of different stuff. We have the beehive, obviously, and I don't know if you saw we have chickens, so I just built a new chicken coop, and that's up. So we do a lot of different things in this little area that we have. So I like to tell people, it doesn't matter how much space you have or don't have. It's easy to really just grow. I mean, just get out there, put a couple seeds in the ground, and get growing. It's a lot of fun. It's almost a miracle sometimes to see stuff grow. You put it in the ground. I mean, like, what's some of the stuff this year that you were like?
Some things that we were blown away by was our garlic harvest, onion harvest, green beans, corn. These things did really well. I mean, we got super aggressive with taking care of our gardening, the right soil, compost, companion planting, things like that. But so we had a much better harvest this year of things that typically we didn't do so well on. And so, like I said, we're getting pretty jazzed up about 2026. And while we're talking about this, put in the comments what you might be growing in 2026. Are you going to plant anything new you've never grown before? Are you going to start a garden? I mean, tell us about it.
Yeah, and going back to like, there's so many things that we did different. I mean, the first couple years, we drug a hose out there and put up sprinklers, and we've learned so much about watering techniques that really made a difference in how our garden really responded this year. We put in a sprinkler system or in-ground sprinkler to help with irrigation, which we didn't have before. We ran irrigation all the way out there, and we didn't have to drag hoses out there and hand water it and those type of things. So it made a huge difference in growth. And going back to what Rhonda was saying was, the fertilizer, the type of dirt, how we handle the things that we do, and there's so many things that can go wrong. The gambling part of it, right? We get bugs like this year. One of the things we did is I was so excited about growing a lot of tomatoes. So we got our seeds in, really a lot of really cool varieties that we've never grown before. And we're in the South, and it's very hot here, and it is hard to grow tomatoes. So I think I planted like 90 tomato plants, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to plant them all. I'm going to plant them all. And I did. And what happened was they started out, they were really healthy. And then all of a sudden it just turned into one big bush out there in the garden. And as soon as one gets a disease, they all get a disease, and it's hard to keep up with. So a lesson learned, because my idea was, tomatoes don't do very well, so I'm just going to grow a whole bunch, and at least I'll get some. And it really didn't work that way.
And that's a great point, because Beverly Gallagher at 9192. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Richie. Richie and our dog Brian are best friends, by the way. So Beverly says, if there was one gardening thing you wish you'd done differently, what would it be? And would that be the tomatoes this year? Do you have more of a general like?
I think it would be more general. I would tame my ambition of like, okay, I'm going to grow 10 cucumber plants and end up with 500 cucumbers that I can't do anything with. So don't overplant. I think is really the my experience, because it's a way you do waste as much as you give away. It's still a waste. Yeah, and you can pack so much stuff.
That's right. Sometimes we have a crop that just peppers, for example. I mean, we had to tame it down to 2 or 3 jalapeno plants, which is still overkill. And we're giving them away left and right and taking them to work, and pretty much people are like, all right, enough with the peppers. And then you're trying to find recipes with all these peppers and stuff. So kind of have set lower expectations of, how much of a yield you want.
Yeah. And really another thing too is really understand your location in what you're growing, because like I said, tomatoes do grow really well up north, and probably down Virginia. But once you start getting a little much more south than that, it's really hard. The humidity here and the heat.
You need the shade.
It's really hard. You like early season, you'll get some good tomatoes, and it's so hard. And I love tomatoes, and we use a lot of them. We got, we made some salsa this year. We pretty much do every year. So, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with them. I wish we could grow more, but it's pretty hard to grow tomatoes here, believe it or not. Coming from up north and seeing how easy it was to grow tomatoes, and then coming down here and living down here, I don't know, 30 years in the South, and been struggling to grow tomatoes ever since. So, but I mean, how about you? What do you think?
Well, Beverly had another comment. She said, right, no one likes pickles or too many pickles. And really, aside from putting them in salads and pickling cucumbers, what else are you going to do with them? Good point, Beverly. And then Pamela Bird 5219. Hi, Pam. Thanks for joining. She said hi. Merry Christmas. But for me, like, good things over this year, new things. That was kind of a big deal for me. I planted peanuts, and I planted loofah, and I planted what's the other? Leeks, things that I've never thought about.
Don't you have a sample or something?
So I also showed this in our Thanksgiving live, but here's a loofah. They do not grow in the ocean. They grow in like a zucchini or squash. And you can cut these open, and I turn mine into these little scrubbies. There's a little bar of soap in here too, and you can hang it from your shower, and we gave them out as gifts. You grew popcorn this year. That was another fun
popcorn, one. Yeah, that was different. Just to try. We're still trying to pop it. We haven't had much luck with it yet. So different experiments trying to pop the popcorn. So that's been fun. But I mean, overall, it's been a journey for us. I mean, the gardening is one thing, but also you got the YouTube aspect of it. And we never really thought that, our idea was, you see this stuff on YouTube and these people put up these videos and they film it, and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that was really kind of
one thought that kind of used to go through my head was like, anybody could do this.
And anybody can. Anybody can, but so we're what, 8 months in?
Yeah,
we've done 70 plus videos. We have 3,000 subscribers.
Over 3,000 subscribers.
I think we're doing pretty good, but the amount of work that goes into those 74 videos and the hours, like there's times when I get up at 5:30 in the morning, I go into the room where we do our editing and stuff like that, and I do that till I go to work, and then you get home and you do it again. It is not one of those things that you just like, okay, as easy as you think it is. There are people that just do the videos and they don't edit them, and I have another channel that I also do that I kind of do the same thing. But when you see those videos, this is the trap, right? You see those videos and you're like, I probably should, and then you get into editing them. And the next thing you know, 4 hours later, you're still editing a video, and you spend so much time on it, and then nobody watches it. It's like you spend all that time on it, and so it's been a crazy journey.
And that's the editing part. I mean, when let's say I'm going to go harvest something and I want to, make a video about it, you got to grab your camera, you got to grab your stand, you got to grab your microphone, you make sure you have all your tools, and the weather might not be cooperating, or you're waiting for planes to fly for the noise, and it's just it's a lot goes into these videos, not just for us but for any creator. If you have a channel and you're active and you post and you are an influencer or creator, comment below. We'd love to go check out your channel and give you some support there. We've had an opportunity this year to collaborate with another YouTuber that lives in Florida. That was a really fun project or whatever, but it's a lot of work, and we both have full-time jobs, so it's kind of like having a second job in some instances.
Yeah, it is. So. But it's fun, and it's a second job that you don't get paid for, really.
Yeah.
you're like you're putting like we've bought a few things. I mean, like I said, you could just use your phone. We bought obviously some lighting and these microphones and a few cameras and that. But you can use your phone, so it becomes like this, almost like you say, a second job and then an addiction at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. You're trying to perfect it, be creative.
Yeah, you try to get better, and you spend more time at it, and it really is like, I don't know, like you said, it's a second job, but it's fun. It really is fun. I mean, for me, the age I am, I really look at it as like, okay, this is something that it's gonna get me away from my job eventually. Like that's my hope, and we put a lot of energy and effort into it, and we hope you guys watch our videos and appreciate them, because it does. And anybody that's on YouTube, it's a lot of work and a lot of effort, but it is fun. I mean, like Rana was saying the other day, like I didn't really feel like going in there and doing it, and then I said, well, just take the time, go in there and do it, and just kind of put the effort in it. It is fun. I mean, I do enjoy it. Our goal, like I said, eventually is to not be going to our regular jobs. Don't know if that'll ever happen, but
we'll keep trying.
With that said, we have made some money this year doing this. We've made 67 cents. That's how much we've made so far this year, and it's
keeping
off.
the light on.
It's keeping
the one light bulb.
I don't even know about the one light bulb. And then we do have merchandise that we did sell,
and that was on an affiliate.
Yeah, that was an affiliate for the program.
Yeah.
And we do sell merchandise, but I'm the only one that's bought the merchandise so far, so we're in the hole on the merchandise.
But we are working on setting up our website. We'll have some Gambling Garden gardener swag and a couple other things. We might sell some honey and maybe the loofah or whatever. But we're working on that, so stay tuned for that website. And it's in 2026, right around the corner.
Yeah.
So comment, tell us, what are you going to plant in your garden this year? We'd love to know.
Yeah, and are you planning on doing YouTube?
Oh yeah,
it's like,
are you going to start a channel?
Do you watch YouTube and are like, you know what, I should go ahead and give that a try, or I'm thinking about doing this, and I will tell you, that's kind of where we got sucked in. We're like, okay, now there are some people out there that can really give some good information, but statistically, well, we were just looking at this earlier. What are the statistics? It's like millions.
I think the biggest statistic was between years 1 and 2, 90% of people that start a YouTube channel for the purpose of becoming monetized just give up.
Yeah, they just quit.
And it's so much. It is a lot of work, so I can see how that.
Yeah, and I read something somewhere else. I think that less than 5% of creators ever get more than 10,000 followers on or subscribers on YouTube. So it's not what you see. A lot of these people on YouTube that we watch, anyways. Maybe you guys don't watch, but because we're trying to figure out how to get monetized and make some money, and they all have these great ideas of how to do it and what to do, and it's so like I don't know, it's so overwhelming sometimes, because you're just watching these people and they're just talking about how they're making money and making money and making money, and sometimes it's hard to believe that people are making that kind of money. And there are really good people out there that do give good advice, but it's just I just feel like all it is people sometimes almost feel like it's a pyramid scheme. I know it's like so hard to believe that people are making that kind of money on YouTube, but that's our goal and that's our hope. I mean, I hope you guys enjoy what we put out, and we really do put a lot of effort into it. We do love the gardening, right?
Absolutely. It's not just a hobby anymore. It's kind of an obsession for us. And back to the gardening part of things, can we talk a little bit more about successes and fails? Because right there, you've got a pretty big success here. So yes, Stan got bees in 2024. He did not get any honey that year, but he did get honey this year, and it was I think you got something like 25 jars.
Yeah, 25 jars. These are 16-ounce jars, so I mean that's quite a bit of honey, and we gave a lot of it out, and it was fantastic. And I tell you what, that was all the stuff we grow in the garden. The bees it was terrifying at first. I'm not lying. I mean, I got these bees. I had no idea. I watched a ton of stuff on YouTube, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I mean, I'm pretty mechanically inclined, but that doesn't mean you can raise bees because you can build a house. It's not two different things. So I got the bees.
Says, I am gardening vicariously through me. Thanks, Pam.
There you go.
But yeah, there's two different kinds of honey there, by the way.
Yeah, two different kinds of honey. They taste totally different, two different times, and really not that far apart. Like maybe 4 weeks apart. This honey was harvested, and then 4 weeks later, they filled them up again, and then this was harvest. It's a dark honey. This one had kind of like an apricot peach flavor to it, which
Yeah.
I don't know. It's maybe some flower or whatever that has that, because we don't have any peach trees or anything around here, so I'm not really sure how that got that flavor.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
But it's very intimidating. I've gotten stung more times than I ever want to get stung, and
I keep my distance. I don't get. I'll watch him. Good job. You're doing great over there.
yeah.
I don't want to get too close.
And I think I'm a little bit allergic to them, because when you do get stung, my hand like just swells up quite good. So, but it's been fun, and it is kind of intimidating to see 30,000 bees or whatever.
And that was the success, was the honey.
Yes.
And the fail with the bees.
Okay, then the failure is that they leave every year for some reason. Towards the end of the season, I was planning on, there's a whole process, and make the story short, tried to do this, and then all of a sudden they call these robber bees, because there's other bees from other places. They came in, stole all the honey, killed basically all my bees, and left. So I got to start over again.
Right. So you'll start a new batch,
Yeah.
but you have a goal, and that's to get 1 or 2 more hives besides the 2 you already have.
I'd like to
So
at least get one more.
that's good.
But it is nothing. I would have to say, none of this is cheap. None of it is cheap. Now, buying a 5-gallon bucket and putting some dirt in it and throwing some seeds in, that's pretty inexpensive. And you can pretty much grow anything out of a bucket. We have.
Yeah, but we've grown potatoes out of a bucket, and I think some onions maybe. But just like with the bees, he's getting ready to expand again. That's the obsession part. Like last year we added, what did we say, 9 extra beds to the garden beds.
Right.
And it's kind of like, and we're going to do this. And you just keep building on it. And I will say that during the time we expanded our garden, that's when we got chickens. And that's when it got to be really, really exciting for me, because you kind of feel like we could take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
So, but I've really enjoyed having the chickens. That they're not really our pets, but they're not,
and
not our pets.
Yeah. The interesting part about, we can take care of ourselves until one bug or one disease or some kind of infestation of the garden takes over and it kills everything. So there's the positives and the negatives, and it is a lot of work. But it is very rewarding, and it gives us a chance to be outside in the fresh air, enjoying and each other's company. Sometimes it's not always the best company.
Yeah, why do you say that?
No, I'm just kidding. But it is. We sometimes you're very, not you, but sometimes we have our own ideas of how we want to do things out there, each of us, and sometimes they don't always line up. So,
Pam said the chicken coop turned out great.
Yeah.
So,
well, thanks, Pam.
And thanks for watching that video. He's got a second one coming up.
Part 2, part
so when
3.
you decide to build a chicken coop at your house, Pam, you will know how to do it. Follow his instructions.
Yeah.
But that kind of goes into our kind of merchandise. When we get our website up, we are going to have some digital downloads, and one of them is going to be the coop, how to build it, or material list or something like that.
Cut list.
We're kind of breaking out, trying to figure out some other ways to generate revenue. But so did you like building the coop?
I did. The problem is, it's just like with the YouTube videos, I have to do it when I'm not at work.
Right. So how long would it have taken you? Let's say you didn't have to go to work, you had unlimited time, like during the.
It probably would have taken me a week, to totally finish it. It wouldn't have taken 4 months. I mean, 4 months, 1 day a week. So that's 8 days roughly. So a week. I probably could have got it done in a week, but it was. There was a lot of modifications along the way. What I originally drew came pretty close, but it ended up being a little bit different. But it was fun. I mean, I like creating stuff, so it was fun.
Mike and Mac just joined.
Mike and Mac.
They just wanted to say hi. Merry Christmas, you guys. We
love you. Merry Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Make sure you call me about that concrete floor painting situation. But yeah, so it's been a fun journey. It's been a lot of work, more than we thought it was going to be, just because you try to get better, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
that's kind of what you're doing. You're just like, okay, we're gonna do this, and then you watch that video. That's what I was talking about, the editing stuff. It's like, okay, this is good, and then you watch it and you don't. Like the chicken video is a good example. When it was all said and done, I had roughly 5 hours of footage of doing that chicken video of different things with the GoPro and different camera angles, and just many different things, and just trying to take 5 hours of video and putting it together and making it, I don't know, maybe an hour of different segments or different episodes. It just takes a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you're just out there just filming something regular,
and
it's
gardening's
amazing.
a lot of work anyway.
Yeah, it's a lot of work,
yeah.
and you take your different, and Rana, with her, she does so many different angles, and she does a lot of voiceovers and stuff like that. So when you bring it in and you cut the video and you edit it, and then you go in there and you record, it's so funny to think that, like, I know it's just us doing YouTube, but you have a different appreciation for what they do when they make movies.
Definitely. We were watching a series or something, and it was like a fighting scene. It's a pretty well-known series, but like we were like, oh, that's, they had a stop camera here, and they had to go over here, and there's a camera there, and how many takes do you think that took? Speaking of takes, if you guys want to see kind of a behind the scenes, go look at our blooper video, and it's probably a 1 to 2 minute video in our long videos, but it's just us trying to get down an introduction to start a video, and we probably did like 20 takes.
Well, a good example is that chicken coop video, the introduction to that, of me standing outside. I was outside for 30 minutes to get a 2-minute introduction. I don't even think it was 2 minutes long. It was like 30 minutes of me just kept repeating and how I wanted it to sound and stuff like that. And again, in reality, no one really cares, but when you're doing it and you're watching it, you have some kind of ownership to it. So, but it's a lot of fun and work. It really
How
is.
did the chickens do when you were in their pen area building the coop?
They were just curious. They would come up and watch sometimes, but other times they were just like, they didn't care.
I've got a fail story about that coop situation. So the little coop that they were in was dilapidated. It was like falling down. And he had just finished the really big, nice coop that he just built. And our son was in town visiting, and we were like, can you be in a video with us? We're going to rip this old coop down and move this big coop into place. And so we were out working. Our son was tearing this coop down and hammering it, and it was all on video. And then we did this thing where we put the big coop on rollers and pushed it into the place we wanted it. And then we went and checked the video, and it didn't record anything.
Yeah, so that's another thing. It's like you check and recheck and do all this stuff, and there's still fails.
Yeah,
it is an interesting part of it. I never imagined that I would be an actor on TV, because that's essentially what you are, right?
Yeah.
You're just acting.
Yeah, you try to be yourself, of course, but you got to have a little bit of more energy than just your typical tired self.
Well, a good example is this right here. There's, I don't know, 5-6 people watching, and we probably spent 4 hours setting this up today. At least 4 hours.
Well, I was more of a bystander, kind of just.
But the lights and like double checking and making sure it looked right, and getting everything the way that you want it, and how it's gonna like look, and watching it. There's like you do a pre live on YouTube and stuff like that. It's just amazing how much work it goes into it. And our daughter, she does some stuff.
I was gonna say, Matt, comment in below, talk about like how hard it is for you to do some of your filming. I mean, you've got 2 kids. It's like, it's got to be tough,
Yeah, she does it, and it's like, and her videos are like short, quick videos. She does a lot of TikTok stuff, so it's like but it still takes time to edit it. It's not like all of a sudden it's just, okay, I'm gonna do a 10-minute video, but you got 3 hours wrapped up in it. So I mean, but yeah, and it's fun though. I do like it. I mean, I don't want to sound like we're complaining because that 67 cents is it's going a long way. I think I still have a few cents left.
Yeah. So are we going to expand the garden?
Yes. So we are. We're going to add
This
just like
year,
what you were talking about. We're going to add.
Got to make it bigger.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Two more boxes, and it's not much of an expansion, but we do have an area though that we did in one of our videos where we put in a really big new flower or bed, that's empty right now. So it's a lot of space. I mean, the thing.
Yeah, we're gonna probably
60 foot
transplant
long.
a lot of plants,
Yeah.
but you maybe want to run a drip system over there so you don't
Yeah.
have to water. And,
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But again, it's all fun. It gets us outside until it's July, and then it's no fun anymore because it's a million degrees outside.
And I'm not sure if everyone's that familiar with gardening, especially in the South, but you kind of have 2 seasons. So you definitely put stuff in the ground early spring, and then you harvest it, anywhere between, mid-spring to probably the end of summer. But in summer, when it's so hot, that's the time where you plant your fall crops, and that's really hard to do.
Yeah, it gets really hot out there.
It's hot, but you don't realize how exhausted and dehydrated you are and stuff like that. But it is so worth it because we got 2 great crops of green beans this year, 2 different seasons. We got 2 crops of carrots. It was great.
And when you're old like Ronna, it's hot out there. It takes a long time for her to recover. So
okay, we got some comments. Robin Elwing says 25 jars of 16 ounce of honey. Impressive. It was very impressive and delicious too.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And then Max says the editing takes the longest. I can't imagine editing a video longer than 2 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you want to get fancy and do like the still shots, like.
Yeah. Well, that's what when I got done doing that chicken video and I had 5 hours of footage, I was like, how am I ever going to do this and put it together to make it look like something? So if you guys watch that and the first one's good and the second one's not so good and the third one's even worse, and it just keeps going down, that's why.
He won't let it go out bad. He'll just keep working at it for weeks and weeks until he gets it just right.
Who was talking about the editing?
Mac.
Oh, Mac.
Yeah.
Mac from San Diego?
From San Diego.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that. Different time zone watching. Oh, there's one from Reno too, right?
That's right. We got at least 3 West Coast people watching. And then somebody in South Carolina and somebody close to home in Raleigh.
Nice.
So thank you all for joining us. Hey, also comment too if you want to share something that you're going to be doing special for Christmas. Just kind of a little off topic. I think we are doing a prime rib.
Yeah.
And we are going to be eating some of our homegrown green beans and our homegrown red potatoes.
Yeah, red potatoes, green beans. Yep, that's going to be good. Yeah, so Christmas is here already.
That's right. Yeah. That was a fast
year. I
guess
that's why that's.
Oh, is that why that's? Yeah. Somebody got commented. Elizabeth Robinson, thank you for joining. She says, we're so proud of you two for one, Aunt Beth, for one, venturing forth into growing to start with. Thank you. And doing these videos. What a great couple of cuties. Thank you, Aunt Beth. We love you.
We love family.
And Mac and Mike are doing prime rib as well. It's such a great Christmas dinner. It's so delicious.
Nice.
And,
I think.
And Pam is doing filet on the smoker.
Nice.
Delightful.
Nice. I want to say.
Steaks. Yay,
I want to say one year when Mikeland and Mac were here, we did a prime rib, or was it just?
Maybe.
Maybe.
We've started that tradition.
Yeah,
over the
usually
last
it's on
4 or 5
Christmas
years.
Eve. We've been doing it on Christmas Eve. So yeah. So, well, that's pretty awesome. Anybody got big plans? Anybody going anywhere?
Yeah. Any vacations like to Acapulco or
We're
something?
here alone. Our kids won't be here for.
That's right. Not
Christmas.
this year. Maybe next year.
Yeah. So Acapulco. That sounds good. Where is Acapulco, anyways?
I'm not quite sure. This sounds very tropical. But yeah, so we're gonna be just kind of staycationing, and we're getting ready to start planning the stuff we're gonna do in 2026.
Yeah, in January.
We'll probably start doing a couple more of these live videos, and I know one of them. Well, I don't know, but our plan is to do one maybe on microgreens. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with that, but it is something that's a big trend, and we're interested in trying that. So
So yeah, it's been a good, fun year, been enjoyable, and just get out there and grow and do some stuff. It's fun. I mean, we really get a chance to be outside, get some fresh air.
Beverly says that we're doing tofu. I kind of don't believe that. But
Tofu.
that makes me laugh either way, even if you're serious. Sorry, Beverly.
Tofu. Tofu? I don't believe that.
I think she's joking.
Tofu.
They have those tofurkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's it.
No.
And then Max says, can't wait to have a huge garden like you guys.
Yeah.
It is so much fun. And you just kind of feel empowered when you start pulling your own food out of the garden. Like right now, I can go out to our garden and pull carrots out that are about this big if I wanted some carrots for something. And it's awesome. Because right now we've got carrots in the ground. We've got onions, leeks, cabbage, garlic, some parsley and mint. Everything else is either dormant or we harvested it. Strawberries, yeah.
Because they kind of grow year round. They, they kind of weather even the frost. They'll come back.
And it's our last ditch effort. We are growing 2 Brussels sprout plants. I think this is the last time we're going to try to grow Brussels sprout. The plants are huge. But the Brussels are probably the size of a pea, and they've been growing for about 4 months.
That's something. Broccoli and the Brussels sprouts, they're kind of like the tomatoes in the South. They just don't do very well. I mean,
and we've tried them in spring and in fall now. So
if we liked okra, we could probably grow the heck out of that.
Yeah, I hear that's a big crop here.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. And it is kind of for us right now, because we've kind of expanded so much in our garden. It is a little bit overwhelming in the spring when you get out there and you start planting stuff. And like Ronna was saying, next month, January, we'll start putting seeds in for our stuff that will be going in the ground in February, believe it or not.
Yeah, we have a grow light system that we pull out every, early of the year. We start putting our starter plants in there and have our.
We'll start ordering.
It's almost like a science experiment.
Yeah, we'll start ordering some seeds here pretty soon, stuff like it. So that's another thing. I know that you guys, there's not a ton of huge gardeners on here right now, but there are some things if you are going to what's it called with the root? The
bare root?
The bare root plants, if you're like strawberries and not Brussels sprouts, but asparagus, those type of things. It's a good time of year. Grapes even, some grape plants, if you're going to get those, order them now, because we found out we've had a few times where some of the varieties that we wanted were sold out already this time of year because they store them or whatever they do, and they sell them and they go quick, especially bare root stuff. And bare root stuff is something that is already grown and it's already rooted, and then all you do is you put it in the ground and it'll start growing. It's
like a starter plant.
Yeah, like strawberries is a good example. A lot of those are bare root plants. It's very hard to grow strawberries from seeds. You can do it, but we've tried it a few times. It is very hard to do. There's a whole process and trying to get strawberries to grow, but it's a bare root. You put it in the ground, and a lot of the times those things don't fruit the first season. It takes them a year before they'll grow. But we've ordered some grape plants. They're already 3 years old. They're mature plants, and even at that, we don't get grapes off of them until the second year. So.
Yeah. So the first set of grape plants I ordered were Cabernet grapes because I had this idea. I'm going to make wine, which is fine, and I could possibly do that. But even though certain plants can grow in your zone, so we're in zone 8A, it's the USDA hardiness zone, it doesn't mean that they're native to that area, and there's a chance that they can bring pests or disease because they're not really supposed to be here. And I'm kind of suspicious that that's what's going on with my grapevines, because they're kind of rotting out at the bottom, and I think that they got some kind of fungus or just blight. But he also has some grapevines that are more native to
Yes.
this area, and they're super healthy. We didn't get any grapes this year because you just planted them, but
Those were 3 years old.
yeah. But Matt says, what's been your favorite thing to grow? I'm going to say, for me, it's been the loofah, hands down. It was something totally different and wild and weird, and I just really had a good time with the loofah.
My favorite thing to grow, believe it or not, is the asparagus, because it's the first thing that comes out in the spring, and it's so delicious and it's so fresh. And you get so much of it early in the spring, and then it's done. I mean, it only grows. Maybe you get it for a month and a half.
I feel like this year we had it for like 2.5 months. Every week I could go out and cut a bundle, like perfect amount for one dinner between the two of us. And next year it's gonna, it'll be wild.
Asparagus is one of those things that's amazing. That asparagus will grow for 30 years. I mean, you plant it once and it'll last forever. It takes a while before it does start producing. Those were bare root plants also that I got, and so I've kind of rotated them. The ones that we got last year were 2 years old. I put some purple asparagus in last year, didn't really get any, so I'm expecting this spring we'll get some because it'll be its second year. But that's probably my favorite. I love asparagus. It's just so fresh out of the garden,
and it grows crazy fast. It's like you can go check it, let's say today, and it's this big, and you go check it in the morning and it's grown.
Yeah,
it's like I want to do one of those fast videos, where they show something.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that.
A time-lapse video.
Robin Owing says, you don't have Mormon crickets soiling the playing field. So what kind of critters do you have with which to contend? Oh boy.
We're fortunate because of our dog keeps a lot away, but
like rabbits and
we usually don't have
voles.
But when we didn't have the dog, we did have a problem here in the South. It's called voles, moles, but with a V. Those were pretty bad one year, and it's interesting because they come up from the ground and they're like a cartoon character, like Bugs Bunny under the ground. They pull the stuff down. They eat it from the bottom. But mostly here it's pests like insects.
We have these funny flat beetles that they really love the squash. So they'll get my pumpkins. We've tried to grow zucchini. And you can use the neem oil. That's a very natural way to try to prevent pests. We had a lot of caterpillars on our dill this year. That was different.
Yeah, I remember when Mac was little, we used to get these little caterpillars from our neighbor, and they loved like the parsley and stuff like that. That's what they lived on. They would just eat it till it was gone down to the stem.
Yeah.
And they would just fatten up and then cocoon and then turn into a butterfly. It was crazy. Those were some interesting insects.
We did have a very strange encounter with a bug this year that looked like a hummingbird. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, it was a hummingbird
moth.
And it looked just like a hummingbird, but it had like
it was freaking us out.
Like the pointer, the beak, or whatever you call it on a hummingbird. This one was like 5 inches longer. It was just this weird looking.
Yeah, it was.
It looks just like a hummingbird.
It flew around like a humming. It was kind of creepy.
I mean, if you get really interested, look it up because it's one of the creepiest things you've ever seen.
Player's Guide or Andy says make fresh eggnog. Maybe we should try that.
Fresh eggnog.
Oh, a funny story about the chickens. So they kind of get distressed really easy, and it'll prevent them from laying eggs. And right now we're in a no lay egg cycle with them because the whole new chicken coop kind of freaked them out. Like they were used to their little space, Now they've got a bigger space and it's new to them, and it's been very cold this December. It has been like 20 degrees probably a week and a half of the whole month, and usually it doesn't get that cold here that often.
And it snowed twice here already.
Yeah. So we're kind of I think we've got about 4 eggs left. So hopefully they'll pick up production.
And make eggnog.
And we can make some eggnog. That'd be good. That'd be a good thing to try. Yeah.
But so it's been a fun, exciting year. The whole YouTube thing is an experience that I can't really explain or understand at this point in time because I like I said, we didn't really plan on that. We never talked about YouTube, and then we were just one day, hey, let's do it. That's something kind of interesting about me and Ron and our personalities is we don't really think about things for a long time. We just
if we agree on it, we're kind of just jumping in the
we're
pool,
doing it.
like
Yeah, we don't care how deep.
I mean,
the
there's
water
been
is.
times where we've thought about something like that's not a good idea.
Yeah,
but
in general,
sometimes they haven't been good ideas, and we've done it anyways.
Yeah. Well, that's life, right? That's life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so it's been fun. It's been great. I mean, we've had some really interesting moments on doing the Insta or not Instagram, but the YouTube. It's been fun. It really has. And for me, I like it because, like I said, I probably spend too much money on the cameras and things like that. But I do like the technology part of it, and it's funny because it does get really frustrating when you're sitting in there and you're trying to do some editing and stuff like that. And I was talking around it today, and I was like, imagine, this is a terrible thing to say, imagine if our jobs weren't sitting behind a desk all day long and we had some kind of job where we didn't work on computers and we had to come in here and try to figure out how to edit stuff and sit behind a computer for a couple hours. Yeah. Fortunately, not really fortunately, but we sit behind computers all day long and we're pretty tech savvy, even though Rana's really old. But she understands technology pretty well. So, but yeah, so it's been fun. It's been an experience.
Yeah. And with the whole AI thing, believe it or not, I mean, that's helpful in so many ways, like just making those thumbnails. And that's a thumbnail, if you don't know, is when you look at a YouTube video, it's the picture you see with the words at the beginning, like, how to grow tomatoes, and then you click on it. And,
yeah. So I know there's not a whole lot of people on here. Most of the people on here are friends and family and stuff like that. But we do have some things that we are going to be putting up on our YouTube channel. Some interesting things. That's the digital downloads we were talking about, and some gardening ideas and things that you can download. So check it out here in the next couple of months. We're going to be doing that, and then also too, like Rana said, we're going to be doing a hopefully a live video that should be pretty fun of us planting our seeds and getting those going, and it'll be fun and kind of wacky. I think just doing that live, trying to plant some stuff.
And we get to be introduced to your new sets of bees. Yes,
that'll be in April, so that's another thing that we'll get to do and see how they survive.
Aunt Beth says, we've had such warm weather here near Denver that my tulips are actually coming up right now.
Wow,
that is insanely early. Yeah. I love tulips.
We usually don't. The earliest we see those here would be February. Is sometimes if we get some warm weather in February, you'll see them in February.
Yeah.
But that's about the earliest. Now, I guess if it was a warm winter, they might come up sooner. But usually it's February before we see any of those. So.
Max says eggs were $1.80, which is crazy for California. So I'm guessing that's for a dozen. And I'm not trying
to be... That's pretty cheap.
I'm not trying to be funny, but because we haven't had to buy eggs in like 3 years, when the whole egg crisis is $8 and stuff, like we don't know unless we see some funny meme.
I have no idea how much eggs cost.
Which is awesome. I just,
Was that for a dozen?
Was it for a dozen, Mac? And then Andy says getting a dog. Andy, do you want the dog we have? We could ship it to Maryland for you. So.
Yeah. You're getting a dog?
That might be a joke, but I'm gonna like this and but yeah, Mac, was that $1.80 for a dozen eggs, or like 6, or I mean,
4?
California is so expensive. That is surprising. If
But yeah, so we really appreciate you guys watching and tuning in tonight. We kind of feel like we're trying to do some new things, and these live videos are kind of fun for us because we don't have to put a whole lot of thought into them other than setting up, and we get to talk and just kind of have fun and talk about what we've done.
My favorite part is interacting. And we've got another comment. Andy was saying that getting a dog is one of the bad decisions we've made in the past. Andy.
Yeah, I would agree.
And Beverly says, absolutely not. Richie wants Brian. So, okay, Richie,
South Carolina.
Check your doorstep over there tomorrow.
We're delivering them. And he actually looks pretty good right now because he just got a haircut not too long ago. So
Yeah, we had to shave him down.
Yeah.
And then we've got a new viewer. It says John Bird 5831. Love the treat and the video. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's a relation to Pam there. Oh, and yes, Brian will be there in 5 to 7 business days. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, it's been a good year. We're very blessed. We're great. It's been awesome for us. It does give us an opportunity to spend some time together. That, you know, when we get home, it seems like all of our conversations are about work, and that is like the worst thing.
Oh yeah, we try to focus on what can we do better to build this or plan stuff for our garden.
Yeah.
I actually woke up in the middle of the night 2 weeks ago, and instead of thinking about, you know, the crisis stuff going on at work, first thing that popped in my head was, okay, this year you need to move this plant over to here, and then you're going to do like your beets next to your turnips, and then you're going to take this bed, and it was just like this whole playing out in my head. So again, obsession. It's a healthy one. I hope.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah, it's good. And what's great about it is when we go in our pantry, there's stuff in there that came from our garden that we get to eat.
Yeah,
and
it's awesome.
It's great. We had some burritos tonight, and we had our fresh jalapenos on them, so it was awesome.
Yeah. And then Max says yes, it was for a dozen eggs and avocados, which are normally $5.90. They were $2 for a bundle of 4. Just telling you about my groceries. That's okay. Yeah. Well, I like to know the prices of
especially out in California. I mean, but avocados are cheap out there. They should be cheap in California, right? I mean,
I thought they were like really cheap when we went out to visit. Yeah. And then Andy's talking to Mac and says, "Is that what you want for Christmas? Are you asking Mac about a dog or eggs, or what are we talking about here?" Yes, cheaper groceries are, and you know what's weird? I can't see your whole comment, but it'll pop up in a second. But anyways, yeah, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you on the next live video. We hope you all join us, and we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
You know,
family and friends. We miss our family, friends. Thanks for joining. We hope you continue to watch our channel and support us. And if you know anybody out there and, you know, they're into gardening or whatever, turn them onto our channel. Tell them to subscribe. Come watch us. And we really appreciate you. And thanks for watching today.
Yeah, thanks for your support. We appreciate, you know, you just showing up and taking the time.
Yeah, and Merry Christmas. And we'll see you the next time.
Bye. Merry Christmas. So now, bye, everybody. This is behind the scenes stuff.
Cheers.
Cheers.